Welcome to Across the Globe. Today we will learn about React Lifecycle Methods. React Lifecycle Methods are essential functions in React components that automatically execute at various stages of a component's lifecycle. They provide developers with the ability to define specific actions to be taken during key moments, like component creation, rendering, updating, or unmounting from the DOM. For example, the componentDidMount method is frequently used to fetch data from an API once a component has been mounted to the DOM. This ensures that the data is ready for display when the component is rendered. By leveraging these methods, developers can efficiently manage the behavior and functionality of their React components across different stages of their life cycles. During the mounting phase in React, a component is initially created and added to the document object model, DOM. This phase involves key methods such as the constructor, which initializes state and binds methods, the render method that creates the component's user interface, and the componentDidMount method for executing tasks after the component is incorporated into the DOM. For instance, in a Python example showcasing a React component named myComponent, the constructor function sets up the initial state of the component. The render method defines the component's UI by displaying the countState property, and the componentDidMount method logs a message confirming that the component has been successfully mounted. By leveraging these methods during the mounting phase, developers can effectively manage the creation and integration of components within a React application, ensuring proper initialization and setup before rendering the user interface for user interaction. During the updating phase in React, the component's state or props are modified, triggering a re-rendering process. Key methods involved in this phase are shouldComponentUpdate, which evaluates if a re-render is required, render, which updates the UI, and componentDidUpdate, used for post-update tasks. In a Python example, a React class component called myComponent employs the componentDidUpdate method to log a message, component updated, after the component is updated. This showcases how componentDidUpdate is executed following the component's update, demonstrating its role in the updating phase. During the unmounting phase of a component in React, the component is being removed from the DOM. One key method used during this phase is componentWillUnmount. This method allows you to perform any necessary cleanup tasks before the component is unmounted. For example, you can unsubscribe from event listeners, clear intervals, or perform any other necessary cleanup operations within this method. In the provided Python example, a React component named myComponent has an implementation of the componentWillUnmount method. Inside this method, a simple log statement is used to indicate that the component is being unmounted. This showcases how you can use the componentWillUnmount method to trigger actions when a component is being removed from the DOM. React Lifecycle Methods are like a chef preparing a three-course meal. They follow a specific order to ensure each dish is cooked and served at the right time. componentDidMount is like the chef gathering all the ingredients and tools needed to start cooking. componentDidUpdate is like the chef tasting the dish halfway through cooking and making adjustments as needed. componentWillUnmount is like the chef cleaning up the kitchen and putting away all the cooking utensils after the meal is served. Hey, Code Conquerors! Ready to level up? With TechLearn ATG, showcase your skills with official course certificates. Just visit our site and start. Need that extra boost? Get tailored learning, 24/7 support, and expert guidance. Coding smarter, growing faster, and making learning fun. Go to our website across the globe, www.atg.world. The Analogies React component is a great way to visually understand React lifecycle methods through the perspective of a chef preparing a three-course meal. Let's dive into the lifecycle methods. 1. componentDidMount. This method is called after the component has been rendered for the first time. It's analogous to the chef gathering all the necessary ingredients and tools before starting the preparation process. In this case, the message, "Chef is gathering ingredients and tools for the meal," is logged to the console. 2. componentDidUpdate. This method is triggered every time the component re-renders. It's like the chef tasting the dish halfway through cooking and making adjustments to ensure it turns out perfectly. Here, the message, "Chef is tasting the dish halfway through cooking and making adjustments," is logged when the course state is updated by clicking the Next Course button. 3. Component will unmount. This method is called just before the component is unmounted and destroyed. Similar to the chef cleaning up the kitchen and putting away utensils after finishing the meal, this method is for performing cleanup tasks. The message, "Chef is cleaning up the kitchen and putting away cooking utensils," is logged here. In the render method, the current course, initially set as appetizer, is displayed along with a button that triggers a state change to main course when clicked. This state update causes the componentDidUpdate method to execute, corresponding to the chef making adjustments in the middle of cooking. This analogy helps in visualizing the sequence and purpose of React Lifecycle Methods, making it easier to grasp their role in component management and updates. It also showcases how lifecycle methods can be used to perform specific actions at different stages of a component's lifecycle, like a chef meticulously following steps to create a delicious meal. One industrial application where React Lifecycle Methods are crucial is in e-commerce platforms. For example, when a user navigates to a product page, various components need to load and update based on user interactions or backend changes. The componentDidMount method can be used to fetch product details from an API when the component is first rendered. Subsequent interactions, such as adding the product to the cart, can trigger state updates, which are handled by componentDidUpdate. Another real-world scenario where React Lifecycle Methods play a vital role is in social media applications. When a user visits their feed, components need to render posts, comments, notifications, etc. The componentDidMount method would be used to fetch the initial data for the feed. As the user scrolls or interacts with the content, componentDidUpdate can be utilized to handle updates like loading more posts dynamically or refreshing the feed. In both these examples, React Lifecycle Methods help manage the flow of data and logic within the components, ensuring a smooth user experience and efficient rendering of content based on real-time interactions. In conclusion, React Lifecycle Methods are essential in various industrial applications to handle data fetching, state updates, and component rendering based on user interactions, providing a seamless and dynamic user experience. Keep learning, stay curious, and I'll catch you in the next video.